After 7 days of sparsely appearing on camera, the camera-addicted President of the United States finally did an audio interview with Scott Jennings, and he's sounding quite rough. Now, we have a lot of important things to run throughout this video, but I just want you to keep in mind, we have seen photos of Trump, who usually likes to be on camera all the time, posting on Truth Social all the time. But the photos we have seen were taken through long-range lenses because journalists aren't really allowed any closer. There have been no questions. Today there is a closed-door meeting with Epstein victims and Congress, and we can't even ask questions about it because he's just not appearing in front of the camera. He was standing here, mouth agape, on Sunday. But don't worry, the next day, he was standing there mouth agape on Labor Day. So he's not looking too healthy, but the thing is, we don't speculate on the Adam Mockler channel. With Mockler Media, we stick to the facts, we stick to the photos, videos, and audio that we have, and we're going to present that throughout this video. So make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and let's jump in with this clip of Trump with Scott Jennings. As MeidasTouch points out, the audio of Trump posted by Scott Jennings has him sounding a little bit rough. In this clip, he's talking about Vladimir Putin, and he once again implies that he and Putin had some sort of special, unique relationship. This is Trump's narcissism speaking, and once you understand that Trump thinks he has a special relationship with Putin, you understand that that's how he views this whole war, that through that lens, that he can just cut a friendly deal with Putin and end it. But he misunderstands Putin's ambitions. Let's take a listen.
I'm very disappointed in him. He and I always had a great relationship. I'm very disappointed. Thousands of people are dying. They're not Americans that are dying, but they're Russians and they're Ukrainians, and there's thousands, and it's a war that makes no sense. And it would have never started if I were president, and that's what bothers me even more because the election was totally rigged, and it's a shame. We'll see what happens, but I'm very disappointed in President Putin. I can say that, and we'll be doing something to help people live. You know, it's not a question of Ukraine. It's help people live. 7,000 people are dying every single week.
All right, this makes me mad for a few reasons. First of all, the president's voice sounds raspy. This man is in no shape to be dealing with a war that he claims never would have happened. Quote, this never would have happened if I were the president. But you are the president, and it is currently happening. And you have multiple times proposed frameworks that Zelensky agrees to, but then Putin rejects. You hold a meeting and roll out the red carpet for Putin, and all that we get out of that is you getting tricked. Here's the reality. When Trump was going into this meeting with Vladimir Putin, he claimed that he was going to get a ceasefire and stop the killing. When he left the meeting, Trump had dropped the ceasefire idea altogether because Putin convinced him that he should wait a little bit longer for a real peace deal, not just a temporary ceasefire. So Putin convinced him, hey, just let me continue killing for a little bit longer, and that's all that's happening. It's a part of Putin's negotiation. Now, there's one more clip I want to play, but let's finish this clip of Trump and talking about Putin.
Soldiers, mostly, but 7,000 people. And if I can help to stop that, I think I have an obligation to do it.
Yeah, he really does sound rough. That's not just a morning voice. That's, I haven't been on camera in a week voice. We have another clip of him talking about the tariff ruling that came in recently. This clip, he sounds similarly rough. Take a quick listen.
It will be a disaster if that is lost for our country. Our country will be weak, pathetic, and not rich. It will be, I've put us in a position, even negotiating. I negotiated 7 peace deals because I was able to use tariffs. Without tariffs, many of those deals, half of those deals, I wouldn't have been able to do. It gives us tremendous negotiating power. It gives us tremendous economic power. And it's the same exact thing that they've done to us for 30 years, and they're still doing it. If that decision would be lost, it would be an economic disaster for the United States. The United States will be the richest country. If we lose that decision, we'll be one of the very poor countries.
Here are the facts. Tariffs themselves are an economic disaster. When Trump says that we're being treated unfairly by some countries, then target those few countries. That's not what Trump's doing. He targeted every country except for Russia and North Korea. But basically every country was targeted indiscriminately, meaning there's no real concessions. Not only has he been bullying countries, but when he claims there's been hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue, I think he even says trillions of dollars in revenue. If that were true, which it's not, there's a few billion, it's coming from American companies and consumers. Tariffs are not paid. Tariffs aren't even placed on other countries. Tariffs are placed on goods that are coming into our country. When those goods, imported by U.S. companies, hit the border, Customs and Border Protection then says, we're not going to let these goods through until you pay the tariff and get your certificate. And then American companies pay the tariff, but they can't eat the cost. So there are goods sitting on the shelves of many companies which have been tariffed, which are going to be much, much more expensive. We're going to see this in the coming months. The tariffs only went into effect less than a month ago. The Liberation Day tariffs, keep in mind, just went into effect. Trump is talking to Scott Jennings here, so I just wanted to play a clip of me talking to Scott Jennings on CNN. This one went viral.
I don't care what they think. I mean, these are the same people who elected the mayor and city council that ran the city's public safety into the ground in the first place.
You don't care what the residents...
They don't know what's good for them.
You don't care what the residents of D.C. think.
I do not. I do not care one bit.
Here are the facts. When you ask the residents that Trump is claiming to help, they say that they oppose it at a 79% rate. 61% of them feel less safe. When you ask them what they care about the most, it's not homicides. It's not carjackings. It's Trump's occupation of D.C. So the question then becomes, who are we helping here? Who are we helping here? The idea that public policy isn't meant to serve the public in D.C. is absolutely absurd when Trump was claiming he was helping the public. So the question that I then want to ask is, why don't we mobilize the National Guard to the 8 out of 10 red states that are the highest homicide states? If this decreases crime, and that's sufficient enough to mobilize the National Guard against the explicit will of the people of D.C., why is the National Guard not marching through the streets?
I mean, he very clearly rolls his eyes at me in this clip, but when he's talking to the President of the United States, he gives zero pushback whatsoever. He just sits there, no pushback, and allows Trump to lie about the tariffs, lie about who pays the tariffs, lie about Ukraine, Russia, the invasion, and the twisting of reality here I find uniquely disgusting. I just want to end this off here. Donald Trump repeatedly says this war never would have happened, that none of this would have happened, our country would be a disaster. But while he's saying that, he's using it to distract from the fact that he's creating a bunch of 5-alarm fires that he can't put out. Even if we put aside the blatant pedophilia cover-up, just like not releasing the Epstein files and melting down every single time he's questioned about them, even if we put that aside, which we shouldn't, but I'm just for a thought experiment, even if we put aside the potential health cover-up that people are speculating about, even if we put that aside, the fact that we have tariffed essentially every single country, the fact that the Russia-Ukraine war has gotten worse, it has not slowed down, it's gotten worse. We now have plans that the Trump admin has floated for Israel and the United States to just own Gaza and push everybody out involuntarily. It is all absurd. The wars are getting worse, and we can't let Republicans message and act like things are getting better. It's disgusting. I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate the videos that we make at the Adam Mockler channel, and if you appreciate Mockler Media, then subscribe below. We're going to continue to crush it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.